Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, welcome along once again to the Las Vegas Inferno Major 2 here, TPC, brought to you by Shinto Gaming Circuit. I'm joined this time by my Celtic cast himself, Mr. Zep. How are you doing? I know you've been down under the weather through this whole Christmas festive period, but we're back side by side. We're in the same little room, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're getting closer to the backgrounds. Yeah, but look, and listen, it's absolutely fantastic to be back. First of all, happy Christmas, happy New Year to everyone as well. I'm probably very late in sharing those, congratulations. I'm sure casters previous have done so, but it's terrific to finally be here, recovering from the flu and getting the opportunity to bring you more games from the Las Vegas Inferno Major 2. We've got some terrific teams competing here as we get right down to the business end of the final evening. So let's take a little look at the teams that will be competing in this series.
Yeah, so we got losers semi-finals. It's out.
Teach me how to thug it, ayy. They be like, smooth, what? Can you teach me how to thug it? You know why? Cause all the bitches love me, ayy. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin'. And for you to back it up and dump it. Get it. Put your arms out front, lean side to side. They gon' be on you when they see you hit that Dougie ride. Ain't nobody fucking with my bro from Morningside. He go by Bubba and he hit that dance like thunder. Okay, I ain't from Dallas, but I need town boogie. I show my moves.
Here we go. I love that. Zoned Out Gaming's one was good, right? But I can't say a little bit of a wee Buddha rub of Cheeto's belly. That's the good luck charm indeed that he needed to see, definitely. Look at that. A wee one from Groovy. I mean, two solid teams, right? Outbreak just came off of a good win against Omnia Gaming, so they had to get obviously through that from that loser bracket beforehand after being put down earlier by a team like Anomaly, who are number one seeds. So they played against the one team that's already put the place into that grand finals. Now they have to face against Zoned Out before they can face against the seed that just got dropped down, if you can get there. So it's going to be a close matchup between these two sides. Have you managed to catch any of the action yourself, Zep, between it?
I wish I could say that I have. Unfortunately, I have not. As you know, I say I've been playing the recovery as much as I could until this very moment. But now, really excited to get into this one. It looks like we're getting just pretty much straight into the action here as we go into map number 1.
Yeah, exactly what we need. Heading straight in. We're in exposure. We're on hard point, and it's Outbreak versus Zoned Out. You can see both sides not going to get off to like a solid start in terms of kills wise, but we're going to just make sure that P1 is still uncontested at this point in time for quite a bit of the time. 30 seconds are gone, and we've only managed to accumulate 8 points so far. But the position that you can see, Groovy trying to get in, they are going to hold into that hard point for now. And you know what? They're trying to think about P2.
Yeah, already you want to get in, think about that P2 so far. Outbreak with a great hold and angling the control of the map to move straight onto it, and Zoned Out completely locked out of getting any control towards this next point as they rotate through the back through P3, but already look at Nasty here as he's going to get moved around the back. I believe I actually did have them slightly mixed up there. My apologies. It is now, I believe, Zoned Out, yes, on the point, with Outbreak now being actually able to pinch in from both sides. It's a good chance to get on in.
Yeah, how he was the MVP standout performance in the last series that they were playing. He was just absolutely gunning. I'm sure he went 4 to 8 kills in the hard point against Omnia last time round. He was absolutely dominating in the kills department. Slower start this time round, but they've got the lead for now. Could contest at around tank, but that is 4 dead in the feed. Zoned Out going to get control of P2, but we're getting closer and closer to scrap time here, and Zoned Out are also got that, trying to fight for that back P3 spawn also.
Yeah, I really like the position Zoned Out are taking at the moment, keeping control of this P2 while angling now successfully for P3, keeping Outbreak completely shut down. But of course, you will see Hail come through, try and thread the needle through the gap. Maybe going to get a little bit of lucky timing through the underneath on P3. Huge gunfight, which he loses as Zoned Out now retain complete control of that P3 and the middle of the map. One more push coming through from WASD down underneath, but going to have to wait for the teammates if he wants to do any real damage.
Yeah, Zoned Out doing a good job there to hold on to the gunfights, middle of the map as well, and holding on to P3 here as it starts off. 10 seconds already gained here, and how Jacob trying to make Lando, sorry, trying to make their way in here. But it's going to be Lando and Blur that will combine here for Zoned Out. They're managing to keep themselves in control of this hard point, and even winning the final gunfights. That's a good 30 seconds gained here from Zoned Out as they take almost a 50-point lead.
Yeah, Zoned Out are starting to reap the rewards from a lot of map control. You're seeing Josh 7 and 2, Lando 7 and 5. The KDs are looking strong as they continue to dominate through that midsection. Even now, when they're finally getting pushed out, they're still getting a lot of time. And even if Outbreak get in, it'll be for a minuscule amount of scrap. You're going to see the fights now over towards P4, where WASD is sitting to control that spawn. Lando going to try and break through. Huge gunfight coming up here for Outbreak to try and regain a little bit of time. Will Lando spot him? He won't. He gets dropped. And this is Outbreak's chance to try and get through that point, but a lot of pressure now on these back spawns.
Yeah, it was good to trigger discipline there from WSD to not give away position too early, make sure he can win that gunfight, but he doesn't last long there. These already sussed out and Zoned Out have already made the break and gained control of that back spawn. There's going to be player number 5, Blur, who does get sussed out here. Groovy's going to make his way around his capacity, finds the kill. He finds a second on towards Lando. Now they try to make that look for that break as he goes in to the player in the hard point. He finds Nasty and he finds Josh. That's 4 of them all dead. Outbreak gain control, but he gets hit by the trophy system there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate, but finally a little bit of map control, a wave of kills going their way for a certain amount of time. Will it be a significant amount of time? We will wait to see, but Groovy popping off around the hill with 2, trying to make it 3, but trying to play his life, ultimately getting crowded out. Checkerboard kill feed left and right, 2 for 2, making it 3 for Outbreak, who will get back onto that time, getting majority time, and proving, at least in this map, that they can slow down a Zoned Out side that was looking like they were going to be able to run away with it. Now realize at least they have a little bit of a game on their hands.
Yeah, here we go. Josh, though, who's built up streaks, already looking to use that as players will be coming out of that P4 heading towards P5, and it was going to be Groovy, who was already there at P5 early, but he got shut down, and before you know it, Lando and Co are all in control of that side at P5. And they need to just hold on for his time. They're past that 130 point mark now here, leading the way pretty convincingly, but Kabasi from the window manages to find 1. It's 2 dead in the feed, but then instantaneously Blur is going to find 2. He does get shut down, and it will be Outbreak that get control of that hard point. Know exactly where Zoned Out are coming from as well.
Huge. They are finally starting to get into this one, chaining the hills together. It looked a little bit ropey on that P5, but a couple of vital kills and winning those final gunfights, which they struggled to do in the first 3 hills, has now given them a road back into this map. But Zoned Out are still looking incredibly dangerous as they look to be playing the reset now towards P1. How will Outbreak be able to shift back to that P1 and continue to chain this time together? If Zoned Out play the same in this P1 and 2 like they did the last time around, Outbreak are in deep trouble.
Yeah, definitely, and Zoned Out once again controlling over here in P1. Kills coming from the side of Outbreak though, as they do find 2. Now they need to start thinking about the players that are making their way back towards P1 to gain control as they get surrounded completely. Zoned Out are trying to find a way, and they find 3 dead, but will find Josh at least to stop it. But Zoned Out do get back in control of that hard point at P1 and still getting more points. Still 30 seconds as well to compete for, so surely if you're Outbreak, you have to start making your way onto that hard point. You don't want to be losing the remaining 30 seconds, especially on a control hard point like P1, which is pretty straightforward to be kind of back and forward.
Look at Josh picking up that 2, though. They have so much mid control whenever they wanted Zoned Out. They were trying to peek through from P2, but it took them so long that by the time they got 1, the trades were there on the wrap around, and Outbreak finally getting the players off P1, but not going to be able to get any time from it. They're trying to set up for P2, but I believe Blur is in a position that could cause some damage. Has he been spotted, though? He has. WASD able to pick up 1. Outbreak now rotated onto the point. This is a crucial point to hold, but also to be able to fall back in that P3. You have players like Josh who could just flood the mid to guarantee P3 spawns, but it looks like they're going directly for the hill flood to pick up 3, get complete control, and now Josh can make his way towards those P3 spawns. This is not looking good for Outbreak.
Yeah, definitely not looking good. Every single time you think they're making their way in, Zoned Out will just team wipe the whole side of Outbreak, and they can't manage to get back towards that time. It's going to be now Outbreak though in control of it, but it is going to be P3 sided for Zoned Out. They've got a 60-point lead here, so they can play it as a full hard point so far, with the last bit of scrap time going the way of Outbreak for now. But they're still challenging Zoned Out. They're not giving this time. They're not wanting to make sure that Outbreak can close that gap to make things a bit more interesting come the second set of rotations fully complete here, because as it is, that is going to be a good couple of kills. Kabasi finds 1, but Josh, he's going to be the one to stop the players trying to gain that spawn control. Zoned Out managed to get control.
Josh has just been unbelievable. 22 and 12 has been consistently controlling the wide anchors on the map, playing around the spawns, making sure to pick up the vital 2 pieces when needed to completely shut down any positional plays Outbreak try and make. It has been immaculate, and they are only 1 hill behind, but Zoned Out have been playing such a disciplined style of game that Outbreak are really going to struggle to get more than 20-30 seconds apiece per hill, which means Zoned Out could even play the scrap time towards the finish line. This has been immaculate from them in this map 1.
Yeah, when you've got a lead like this, it is just almost unmountable at this point in time. You just keep getting a little bits of scrap here and there, but even then, you're holding on to P3 here with pretty much the majority of that time. 17 seconds, you finally get the break, and you can see it on that mini-map. Everybody from Zoned Out there decided, right, we're not going for that. We're going to try and wrap around the map, head towards P4, the other side of the map in which they've spawned. So they're going to make that fight to try and gain control of that map. As you can see, finding a few kills. Once again, Josh finding one to try and get their way through mid-map control. If they can get that and they can get into the back, there's a chance once again to try and close it out on P4 here.
Yeah, well, what they haven't been able to get all game, Outbreak need to get something clean, and Josh and Lando just refusing to let that happen. But Groovy and Cabrassi coming in to save the day here to buy a little bit more time to try and hold this point, as Blur is trying to get round the back, but the angle's being held well now, which is the key crucial lifeline that they have needed. But again, need to make it count for the whole 60. They are only halfway there, as now Zoned Out trying to push through the B side, the P2 side, to get round the back. They've made a lot of headway. Will they be able to collapse onto the point here? So far, trying to just brute force it then through the side, but it's not working. Outbreak are holding on. Now they're going to think about that rotation out to P5. Overall, they played that P4 very well.
Oh, Hal continues his 5 spree as well, and that is a great hold. For example, you said that exactly the way I would want to say it. It was the perfect hold the whole time, pretty much going their way. And look at that, we've got within 20 points of difference as we head over towards P5 in control of Zoned Out. Zoned Out can win it here. 40 more seconds is all that's required.
Wow, I'm loving the way Outbreak played that. You had WASD getting that mid-map control, at least briefly, to allow Outbreak to flood onto the point. But will they be able to hold out on this P5 now that they don't have any mid-control? Surely it's only a matter of time, but they're still dancing around the point, still gathering those crucial seconds. But now the flood coming through means that Zoned Out get onto the point, and they're going to be completely aware of where these spawners are coming in from. So not looking good, but Hale with a huge streak to pick up 2 is giving Outbreak one more lifeline. Will it be enough to get them back into this one? Now over the 200-point threshold themselves. 10-point game. What a series this has turned into.
Oh yeah, what a game this has definitely turned into, the difference being almost 10 to 15 seconds now as we start getting the remaining scrap time here. If you're Zoned Out, you make it within 30 seconds, but make it 25 seconds if you get the remaining 5 seconds. We head to our first set of rotations. WSD's in the window though, and it's going to be back and forward in that kill feed so far, but in control of Outbreak as they want to try and take that lead back again. And it could end on P1, which is very interesting to see, especially on a map like Exposure, where the map is so open and there's so many opportunities to get kills and make breaks in that point. But Groovy has found one. If he gets this gunfight, Lando is going to win that, but he's going to be traded instantaneously, and it's going to be a battle to gain control of mid-map.
We've seen Outbreak finally wake up, because they've really notoriously struggled on this P1, but they are keeping Zoned Out off it, which is the best that they can do for this moment. We are going to see it go to a P2. Will it go beyond that? I'm not so sure, but who is going to break and go for that P2 first? It looks like it's going to be Outbreak, as they're also going to try and pinch up through. They're going to have some great timing here for Hale to pick up one, trying to get the second, does before getting traded. The timing's working out for Outbreak, as they're going to have this one with just less than a 10-point differential going into a P2, where Groovy's trying to push out and get good timings, but he doesn't realize they've all gone behind him. Will he be able to pinch through, or are Zoned Out going to keep this point on lock? A huge opportunity. He gets dropped.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He was waiting his time. Everybody had gone over the top of him, but he's got down. 3 dead in the feed. Could he make it 4? WSD knows he's there, but Blur will shut him down. Outbreak have the chance to take control of this lead for what would be the first time so far in this map, and they have done so. It's going to end here. Surely it's going to end on P2, but who is it going to end to? Unless the contest stays. 30 more seconds remains. 20 seconds remaining for Outbreak to take this W, and it's looking good after finding everybody in Zoned Out.
5 seconds left to go. One more push. Can you get there? 3, 2, 1. You're on the point. You need to pick up the kills. Hey, with the nade. Nasty with 1. They get the trades. Nasty is the second. He's on the point, and they can win it from this. Do they push out? It's neck and neck. 5 seconds left to go here. 248 to 245. Who's going to get in? The contest is there. Surely that means it goes to P3. But look who's set up there. It's zoned out. Can they finish it?
Oh my god, Zoned Out, I've got 2 seconds to take this. When they win the gunfight, it's going to be crucial, and they win it. Just Outbreak almost come back from what looked like down and out, 80-point difference at one point in that map. But Zoned Out, they clicked themselves back in. They got themselves locked in for that final rotation and got the right timing on it to have 2 ready in P3 to wait for anybody making that push. A solid start in this loser semi-final.
I mean, this is just immaculate. Zoned Out Gaming taking it by 1 point. 249 to 250. Solid KDs across the board. Zoned Out starting in control, but by the middle of the map, actually towards the back half, you would say, Outbreak at points looked like they were in full control. They made the game scrappy. They found the answers. They pulled it back. They almost looked like they were going to pull it through in that P2, but what was a huge 2 from Nasty gave Zoned Out that opportunity on that final point. And from there, you had to play the gamble. Were you going to sit as a 4, try and get that entire 10 seconds, push out a direct angle, or were you going to do what they did? Start to play through for the rotations, make sure you're set up on that P3. They did, and they reaped the rewards from that. Outbreak, so close yet so far. What a series we're in for. That map 1 was just crazy.
It definitely was crazy. I was not expecting it at one point halfway through that map that was looking very much zoned out. We're in control, and Phil was saying and say they just seem to be like, they only need to get the scrap every single hill. We said it. You called it, and it was like, yeah, scrap every time that you go on and you win this map. Outbreak, they decided, no, I'm going to take the next 60 seconds of this hill. We're going to be within 20. You know what? We've got streaks now. All of a sudden, it has gone back to a level pegging game here over on P5. And then it's just a rotation for the first set of rotations. A massive battle on P1, trying to get as much time as physically possible before P2. It even survived for P2 for the very last second. That's how close it got. Anybody could have won that one for sure. And it didn't look like it coming from the second set of rotations. So very good plays, and you know what? This is going to be one of these games where it's going to go the distance, right? This is you're in out of this current tournament if you lose the series, right? It's all on the line to continue your journey through towards grands. If you can make it in both these teams with a performance like that, even though it was a slower start for your side of Outbreak, they've got themselves gunning. They started getting themselves back into that flow. So this could be a very interesting series going into that search and destroy, which will be over on Scar.
Yeah, I mean, look, really excited to see how that plays out. I mean, bringing the pace down, and it absolutely needs to simmer down here going into round 1 again. I'm a fan of how Zoned Out played. I think Outbreak made it scrappy to pull it back at a couple of great points, but if you look at the team that has the momentum, I still will give it with the winners of Zoned Out, so we're going to see if they can continue that on this map.
Yeah, well, they do find that first blood and the second blood here as Kabasi and Hal do fall. It is going to be Nasty that's found the 2 of them as well. And you know what? They've got that bomb Outbreak. They're gone all the way around the other side of the map just now, trying to find an opportunity to head either towards A or B, but heading over towards that plain side. Josh has peeked the window, but Groovy's going to take some shots, gives away his position, makes it even harder for Outbreak to try and make a maneuver around this map.
Yeah, I mean, very much locked down. Such a hard map to get through on offensively if you don't have the numbers or the timing. And the site's being looked at with 2 apiece as well, with Blur covering that mid angle. There's nowhere to run for Outbreak. You got to just brute force it through whatever angle you choose. And it looks like they're going to try and go through on A. Already baiting out their positions though. Lando playing his life, not taking any chances. Once again, discipline from Zoned Out. But Groovy knowing where to look for 1. The help with 2, but Josh picking up 1. WSD has the bomb in hand. Where is he rotating to? Stuck a little bit no man's land, but tell you what, Outbreak nearly made something great from this. Still could, a 1v1.
WSD, that is filthy to find Nasty, and he's chasing down Josh as well. There's only 2 seconds he needs to do it. Josh is just trying to play for his life and does do so. So Zoned Out takes the round number 1, but it almost fell into the hands of WSD. If there was just a little bit more time there potentially for them to take that round, considering they were at the 2-man disadvantage. Kick us off. Groovy got themselves straight back into it by pulling 1 and WSD finding the next. It made it interesting, but let's go. We're on scopes. I want to see some snipes here from Blur. Oh, he's changed up. Damn it.
God damn you. You
Damn
had
it.
it there in the first half. I can't lie. But Zoned Out, proving why you have to stay disciplined against this Outbreak side, because my God, they nearly pulled something out of nothing from there.
Mr. Nasty needs to be stopped. He is hanged 4-2 in each round so far. Is he going to add more to it so far for this zoned outside? He's found Hale and Groovy, and now he is just running this map so far. You can see how much he's moving as they head towards that B bomb site, and looking like they're going to get the chance to put this down unless WSD does snipe. He does. He finds Lando. He gives it a 3 versus 2 scenario. No, it's difficult for them, but it's still going to be a chance.
Well, I think we're already seeing a mindset of down but never out from this Outbreak side. Is continually they make life difficult when on the back foot. It's almost when they start the races, when they start from this back foot. As now they're on the side, they're going for the ninja. There is absolutely no way. Maybe there's a way. No, Nasty on the wall.
I was going to be that'd be so sneaky if he did get that, but zoned out. They've got themselves timing down to a T, figured it out. New. Wait a minute, we've not seen anybody for a bit. Maybe there's a check on that bomb. We'll just double check it, get it done, and then yeah, WCD only had a sniper in hand and that pistol, so from range it was difficult. Blur closed that gap, and he was not going to be able to catch him to get that kill and trying to even things up. So Zoned Out take a 2-0 lead in this search and destroy, and now we'll go into that defensive side.
Yeah, and seemingly already aware that anything could happen really in this series, making sure to check for that ninja. I mean, when you have a 1 point difference map 1, you recognize that this series everyone's going to try and pull anything that they can out of the bag, so making sure to get that bomb check, which was crucial. But now an intensive A bomb push, leaving it at 3 versus 1. Outbreak finally in a good position to take a round here, all up to Blur.
Yeah, when you don't see Nasty get a 2-piece straight off the rip and Outbreak take control of it, they find the kills and Zoned Out will lose a round for the first time so far in these 3 rounds. But you know what? If you're zoned out, you may be trying something different anyway to start us off. You know, you started off pretty strong. Just see what you're doing from here in. WSCD's got a good angle there for that finishing kill. But yeah, it's not over yet for Outbreak. They're definitely bringing themselves back into it, finding ways at least to kind of make it interesting, even if they are down 2 members early on. They still manage to get themselves back almost into it, but if they can string a few rounds together, there is still a chance for this Outbreak team to take control of the search and destroy. And Blur does have the scope out this time. Did spot WSD, but now he has dipped out of that window, thankfully, for that X-ray vision. We get to see that. He won't see that, but he's just not going to get the timing this time.
Yeah, very close to getting a haircut there. Doesn't quite happen, but Blur still with the sniper in hand, pulling back, playing his life as well, which is incredibly important. But Zoned Out are nowhere near getting any real control of this A site, which is worrying. However, the first blood may give them a chance to flood on in. Groovy picks up 1 though, going to try and make it a second. How did he not get that finish? Nasty with 1, Josh with 1, and all of a sudden, Outbreak, they nearly looked home and dry, but now all up to WASD.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. He pre-fired that door, expecting the player to come in, and just didn't hit the connection shots at the start of it as the jump sliding from comes through, and then Josh will finish off the final member. Zoned Out take the 2 gap lead once again here in the search and destroy to take it 3-1.
Yeah, we've been seeing a great series so far, and that was a round where, again, Zoned Out playing it a little bit slower on the offense, and I rarely do see a team who's slow on the offense make it count. If they're not feeling confident towards getting full control of a site, you usually start to see them get picked apart. But a couple of crucial gunfights, 1 allowed them to pick up that round. And one thing is for certain is that this series and between these 2 teams, it gets scrappy quick. It feels like the rule book and the playbook kind of just goes out the window once the timings are immediately met. It's such a round by round, play by play type of series.
Yeah, it definitely is. You just need to see who's going to pull out of. Oh, Josh gets tagged up, as we say. If you just got to see who pulls out something interesting to start us off. But you know what? They've got the A bomb site completely clear here. The Outbreak are going to get the bomb down. But look at the wraparound here from Lando. He's going all the way around the back, and Nasty's following him up. But here, how will find Lando on that wraparound. Nasty, though, will get 1 back to find capacity and make it a 3 versus 2. Make that a very interesting chance for Josh to try and find the scope. But he pulls a pistol, and Groovy's there. All of a sudden, zoned out. I've just got Nasty to rely on.
Yeah, all up to Nasty. Nasty gets dropped, an Outbreak again, taking another round to just keep themselves knocking at the door. Yes, we are behind, but we are not out of this, and this is the most dangerous position I feel for Outbreak. If you're zoned out at this moment in time, you gotta push Outbreak into a position where there's no feasible way to climb back into a map or the series, right? I think Zoned Out really needed like a 5-1, 6-1 win type of scenario here if they wanted to shut down Outbreak, because their side that has proven that if they're within touching distance, they're going to make a leap to try and get over the line. And again, we go back to that map 1. You could argue Zoned Out got a little bit lucky with spawns the way they were able to win that, so they need to lock in against this side.
Yeah, definitely. Outbreak's not a player team that you can just switch off with and think you're going to run this show, because that is not the case. Outbreak keep themselves in this for a chance every single time, every single round, and nobody taking that first blood. Well, just as we said, Josh does find it, and Kabasi is the first to fall.
Yeah, huge kill. Again, Josh, instrumental for the Zoned Outside picking up that first blood. Now gives them a chance to get more control of this A, but again, not wanting to risk getting up on that plant. They're playing it cautious, trying to play the picks, and Hale is able to trade Josh right back out. Now 3 versus 3, no real control of the site, but you do have Nasty stopping that flank through. Are we going to see a rewrap maybe to B? It's hard to tell. That mid's going to be covered, so either way, that cross is going to be spotted if they do. Outbreak are playing very disciplined on this defense as they now move through A.
Yeah, so that's it. 2 players go towards A, 1 player WSD heading towards B, just to double check that nobody is going towards B. But look at this angle, look at the position to be in. He's going to spot it, he's going to get the chance onto Nasty, finds 1, but Lando's there for the trade. Now you're going to see the fight from Groovy. He's going to find the planter as well, and that's going to be advantage Outbreak here.
Wow.
And Outbreak will tie it up.
I can't believe he wasn't spotted there at the window, but I mean, terrific kill at the end up. Groovy picking up a huge 2. We've seen Groovy come through with a couple of crucial moments as well. Again, you harken back to map 1, you go to P4. Groovy got a couple of instrumental kills there to get some original time back for Outbreak at a time where they looked like they were going to be down and out. I believe it was around the 30-40 point to 110 mark on that hard point, you know. So that's the difference between being 100 points down and 60 points down, and can be a night and day difference when it comes to the confidence going into the rest of the series. So Groovy continuing to be a crucial player.
Yeah, definitely. 8 and 4, double positive, 5 streaks so far from him as well. He's looking good, and it's back to a tied game here in the Search and Destroy as well. So anybody's S&D to win for sure. And obviously, if you're Outbreak, you want to do it. You want to tie up the series. You get the tag. Groovy gets 1, gets his 6 before he falls, gets the trade from Blur. How they're looking for that opportunity as well. If he can find anybody at least on that cross, but nobody's going to find it. He's Zoned Out, starting to make the way through mid-map. There's a player sitting right back in his own spawn side, trying to get through the window at Grandma's there, if he can, but he's not going to be able to find any kills, and they're going to potentially try and get this A-bomb down, but because they're getting watched from that generator side in mid-map, it is very difficult to try and put a plant on A when you're getting watched.
Super difficult, and both of these teams really like to rely on their picks as well, so you get a very standoffish points around that A. But now 2 versus 2, the kills traded out. You have Kabasi rotating all the way back through spawn. WSD needs to stay alive, eventually gets traded. So we have Josh versus Kabasi here to take this round to go in the lead. Crucial moment, not long left to go for the plant though.
Yeah, and they're going to have to go for it. They're going to have to go for the plant. And guess what? Player number 6 is going to have the opportunity to look through that window as the plant comes in. Surely doesn't get the timing on it as well. He's unfortunate, but he knows he's running around. And that is unfortunate. Josh should have just looked through that window expecting somebody to be there and just did not do so. Kabasi's going to put it just dodge and wave. I love COD timings for his best, especially in Search and Destroy. It's just like ring a rosies. Who's going to find me? Because at this point in time, nobody's found anyone until Kabasi finally finds them. An Outbreak. They're going to take that lead.
Well done, Outbreak. I mean, that was a round that didn't really look on. Again, rotating to B. I often find if you're rotating to B, you're in a worrisome position. But I think Josh there with the wall bounce that didn't set him up in the right position to get looking across, and ultimately getting taken out. A little bit of good fortune there for Outbreak as well in the timings to get that plant. And they have a chance. They're in the lead. The finish line's in sight to even up this series. But Blur, or should I say Blur, Josh, Lando, and Nasty, all 4 have zoned out. I'm going to be ready to try and fight this one back. I mean, I'm going to say right now, I think a round 11's on the cards.
Yeah, I could feel this already. It just seems like the way that it's going back and forward on the rounds, definitely. And the fact that Outbreak have came back from the 2-round deficit to take that lead, it just feels like a game 11. Round 11, sorry. And Groovy finding Lando, traded out though by Josh. Blur finds how, and all of a sudden Kabasi gets nasty. We're back to a 2 versus 2, all even in the life's department. But look at where they are. They're still backing Grandma's here with his bomb, trying to look towards mid-map, and it's going to be Kabasi who finds Blur, and he finds the second Outbreak. I've got it to map point.
Yeah, I mean, terrific round once again from Outbreak Kabasi. Really well played through the mid-map, catching zoned out on a little bit of unfortunate timing. It has to be said, you know, the last 2 rounds, you know, granted, Call of Duty esports in general, you make your own luck, but a little bit of the call god timing working in the favor of Outbreak for 2 rounds now, meaning they are just 1 round away, zoned out. We'll need to try and find 3 in a row if they want to go 2-0 up. And again, a side that is very, very capable of it. We're just going to see if they have what it takes.
Indeed for that. Let's see. Have they got what it takes? Are they going to be able to do this and close it out? Or are we going to see zoned out? Bring it back. It's the 5-3 opportunity. They're looking to try and make that 5-3 curse come to tuition here. Groovy, though, he's finding that first blood, giving themselves the advantage to try and take the map.
I mean, talk about feeling groovy. 11-6, my word. Dragging his team by the scruff of the neck through as Kabasi picks up 1, makes it 2.
Oh.
7 streak as well. And Blur, best of luck to you, bud. You may get 1, but surely that's going to be it. Going to need to be an ace as that bomb now goes down on A. This will take a miracle.
Yeah, 100% a miracle. He does take out the player on a hot streak there of Groovy. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kabasi, who was on a nice wee streak there, but taking him out, you still have 3 more players to deal with, and it is not easy players either. You got Nasty still on the map and such, but there we go. Outbreak, they will take the round. They will take that 6-3 win on the Search and Destroy, and they will tie up the series at 6. One apiece, sorry. Oh my god, my brain is just going all mush. I don't know if it's a Sunday because I'm thinking I've got work tomorrow's ep, or if it's just holidays are over and I don't want it to be.
Listen, I don't want to make you feel down, but as you say, you're actually up for work within the next 7 hours. So I feel bad for you, but not as bad as I feel for myself because I'm in the same boat and I'm selfish naturally. But listen, look, terrific series to watch so far. Another terrific map to watch. Outbreak, kind of, I would say towards the end, giving us a little bit of a shocking result in that they were able to win that Search and Destroy by a certain amount of distance, right? We called that it could be around 11, that it could go right to the death, but a couple of moments of fortunate timing combined with plenty of moments of skill on show, especially from Groovy picking up such an amount of kills for what is a crucial map for a side to pull them back into the series. I mean, yeah, 12-6, fantastic performance, not just from him, but from the entire team. Zoned Out Gaming, again, played very well, but seemingly relying a lot on the picks throughout the map, and then when timings weren't going their way, not being able to deal with it quite as well. But again, these are fine margins that we're seeing between these two sides, and already reeking of one that could go all the way to a map 5, it seems.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, well, I'm not even going to say it because we can't actually go into around 11 there, so I'll probably say it won't go to game 5, just so we do get to see more Search and Destroy at the end here, because that was an interesting Search and Destroy that you had to come back from, right? You were 2 rounds down already, all of a sudden zoned out, looked like they were locked in, ready for this as well. You come back, you win a couple of rounds yourself, you take it, and you win by 2 clear rounds as well, and pretty convincingly in the end. Obviously, Groovy 12-6 was phenomenal, but Kabasi went on a little streak as well. That's also got them hot and ready. The fact that they can just kind of open up the map and just totally dominate in the last couple of rounds, just to take the win and to tie up the series. So they'll be happy that, you know what, we're not going to be able to see a 2-0 deficit that's going to instantly stop their momentum. Their morale would be dropped as well if you're 2-0 down, knowing we need to win this next match. Now you're like, right, we're in this series, we're in this game. Overload now could be anybody's game. We're going to Den though for our Overload, so that's going to be also another interesting opportunity to see who's going to have the best set of it, because I'm sure Den last time Outbreak, they were playing against Anomaly, team seeded 1. They lost 6-3 on this Overload, right? They were playing against the number 1 seed. Different task, right? But it's going to be a tough one nonetheless. I'm pretty sure their other Outbreak there were playing Den as well, and they won 6-4 against Omnia. So they have won. They've also lost on this map. So for Outbreak, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're playing against a side who, again, as you said, when they lost the map, they lost them to the top seed. You know, is that a case if they have absolutely no chance, or if they got all the way, could they pull it back on another day with just another set of plays going their way? Again, there's a million different sort of what would you say, different scenarios you could throw at it and to try and, you know, read into the stats as best as you can. But ultimately, as you say, it's just going to be quite a difficult map for them, and being able to pull it back against this side. And look, definitely a possibility. I think with that map too, we have seen the series blown wide open, because I mean, yes, one apiece, but you read into it. I mean, you have a difference of 3 S&D rounds and 1 hardpoint point, a singular point.
Yeah.
I mean, so realistically, if you try to break apart those stats, and we know how S&D timings go, we saw how they went on that map number 2. So you realize that very, very little separates these two sides. And I think it gets to a point as well, you definitely judge the maps, you judge on what one team is better at versus the other. It's almost our job to read into it, right? But I think for the players, when you get into a series and you start to really experience of what you're up against in this very moment in time, disregarding the past, disregarding the momentum a team is in, and you're judging exactly what's faced in front of you. Sometimes the stats of the past can go a little bit out of the window. These teams are kind of knee deep in it right now against each other, and it just means that anything could happen, whether that be one team storms away with it because they really find their footing and they find their confidence in this map, or it goes all the way. And again, I would harken back to that map 1 where I would say that, this Outbreak side or Outcast, I don't believe that, if they won it, I still would argue that they weren't the better side in the map on the overall, right? Which then just goes to show you don't always have to play the best COD to be able to come out on top. At the end of the day, the KDs were quite as there on the overall, yet they were still able to keep it so close. Like sometimes you can nick these maps, you can steal them from underneath the opposition. So again, so much you can read into going into this map 3, and it does sound like I'm clutching at straws a little bit in what I'm saying, but that's all we've got to clutch, I feel like, at this stage, because it's very hard to break down who's going to falter first between these two.
Oh yeah, definitely, because they're so evenly matched, definitely, and that's why they're both at this further stage in the tournament, right? They're definitely looking to be on top to go towards that grand finals, but obviously one of them has to fall, one of them has to go. This is like second versus fourth in the seeding, right? They've got to this stage already. Zoned Out being that higher seed so far, and they started off strong, and it's just slowly getting away from them though. The momentum slowly started to shift in Outbreak, because at the end of that hard point and then that search and destroy, it seems to go into their favor. So if they can start off strong in this overload, all of a sudden you feel like Outbreak might actually have that chance there to take the lead from the get-go, and then just keep their momentum shifting. But hopefully that they don't do what Zoned Out have done and start off strong and then slowly dip as the game progresses. That's the worst part about it, is once you feel like you're in the ascendancy, you can't step off that brake. You can't put the foot on that brake. You have to keep going. You have to keep forcing the same kind of plays you were doing that were keeping you in that lead that whole time, if not. So what we'll do is we'll go to a short break. As I've heard in the venue, we're having a couple of crashes, as such things are with PCs and the joys of Call of Duty setting up. But we'll get to that break. We'll come back to you, and we'll be going in to that Den overload. That's cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're in Overload in Den here. We're going to see which team's going to take that lead here overall in this series. It's going to start us off. Overload is going to be an interesting one. We're mid start every single time. Nobody really trying to get full control, which makes it very difficult to try and take a wrap around. And you always want to head towards mostly the side if you're going towards the orange side. If you are, was that Outbreak? They have the orange side? No, yeah, Outbreak have the orange side. If you're on that side, you want to be going towards B. If you're the opposition, I feel like that's the easiest way to wrap it around from mid. In terms of the set, if you found out any set kind of plays that seems to work well in a Den overload yet?
Honestly, I haven't really, other than the idea of brute forcing it, right? You kind of have the opportunity to stretch on this, especially I think if you're on, orange side attacking the blue, you can sometimes get a quick wrap around, but a lot of the time you're brute forcing it straight through. You're picking up a couple of kills just as Josh did, and then forcing it through for your first detonation of the half of the round. Again, terrific from Zoned Out so far, getting control of that mid map. It is just a case, you say you get that wave of kills, you try and figure out where they're spawning. Again, they most likely spawn out towards A, so you go B, and it can be relatively simple in that regard, in terms of just, again, a direct brute force front. No real, I think, intricate strategies as of yet until it gets towards endgame. But for now, trying to maneuver that one around, but with no real promise there for Outbreak. Zoned Out picking it up again, now trying to go towards A, and they have a lot of room to move up here.
So much room. Is he just going to go for that cheeky slide through the doorway through garage as possibly can? He does do. He goes through it, and he gets the perfect detonation done as well. Zoned Out taking a 2-0 lead after 2 minutes within this first half already, and they look like they know what they're doing here in an overload Den for sure. They're set up ready for this next EMP over on this side here beside Roof and Tin. If they can get control in that fight's in the middle. There we go. Player number 5's pushing up as well. If he wins this fight on towards Hal, but he doesn't. Unfortunately, that could have been another chance to relay once again for the zoned outside, but Outbreak managed to get the defensive setup.
This is a really, really difficult position for Outbreak to be in. Granted, I think zoned out, again, arguable, but I would say they have the easier side for the moment, but they are making the most of it, picking up the waves of kills, controlling the lanes as they please, and making it 3. They are scoring far too quickly for Outbreak's liking here, as they have no control. It is just a blue kill.
Oh, this is going to be half already, isn't it? This is going to be half time already, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 2 minutes on the clock, and look at the position you have. I mean, they're going to slide on in. It's going to be 4. It's half time, and zoned out are locked in.
Yeah, this is not good. Outbreak struggling to get out of the race, zoned out. I mean, across the board, the KD's immaculate. Lando 11 and 4 here, just kind of having his way really in spawn, just being able to get round the back, getting the picks. Outbreak just playing too slow. They don't have the reads whatsoever, and they just have a mix of full frontal pressure with opposition dancing around the back as well, creating those pinches, causing the spawns to be wide, allowing zoned out to get pushed through the direction they want, and getting those EMP overloads locked in with relative ease. This is a bit of a lesson on why it's important to not only be able to win your gunfights, but have awareness of who is around the side of you causing damage where and when.
Yeah, if you're not able to break out of your own area and your own spawn, it's going to be a very difficult task for Outbreak. But now it's going to be the second half. Is it going to favor Outbreak this time around? We've seen how easy it was for zoned out to run a few, but that is 4 dead. And guess what? You're just going to run straight towards A here around this side towards the lockers and dojo. Can they make the kills count? Is it 1, 2, 3? Almost gets shut down just before the end there, and he's got a chance to regain that here if you're Outbreak. Thankfully, just stop short, just at the finishing line.
I mean, a great opportunity to get pushed into B here and cause a little bit of pressure themselves. I mean, just a wave of pressure would be something for Outbreak at this moment in time, but if they get shut down quickly here, it is going to be damning. They need to get through quick, they need to get a few kills quick, and they need to make life difficult. But Josh with a huge 2, nearly making it 3. They have a route in here, but they need to pick up these kills, and they can't get them. Kabasi, the last alive, and they were so close to maybe sneaking that through to B, but now arguably a reset on here with zoned out, trying to get pushed up out of their half again. It is very condensed around this corner, but Outbreak not looking likely to get through so far unless they can get at least a decent 2-piece.
Yeah, Capacity building a streak there before being shut down by Nas. He gets to 5, but can't get control of that EMP. It's just sitting around the corner. And you know what? If you're zoned out, you don't care. You just sit that there until that resets. For all it matters to you, you're 4-0 up. You don't need to pressurize and try to get yourself pushed through until the time is needed. And if you're in control like this is the way they're controlling the map, and you can just see the position they're at here as well. Player number 8 is going to be nasty. He is playing around that A side and looking to try and get kills with the back of the spawn here from Outbreak. Can't do so though, so they'll just wait for them reset and keep control of that EMP. Means that Outbreak can't do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, what are Outbreak to do at the moment? They are at the mercy of the clock here, but picking up a nice 3, surely going to try and make that 4, but I mean, taking far too long to do so. They'll get EMP control, but I mean, they had the opportunity to really lock down that lane for 1, and I mean, credit to zoned out playing the life there, the last left alive, but Outbreak, that was your chance to get through. When you get a 3 dead, you cannot dilly-dally around that EMP.
Yeah, definitely not. You have to take it and you have to run with it as much as you possibly can. Heading round again. We're zoned out, need to find their number 1, but all 3 players are coming here if you're Outbreak, trying to get through mid-map control, but Nasty is on the break around the back. He finds 1, he finds 2, he finds 3. All of a sudden, he has killed everybody, but there is nobody in control of that EMP anymore, and Outbreak have to back from their spawn just as much as zoned out had to as well.
Yeah, and the reset once again coming into mid-map now, where you would argue Blur has a little bit of an opportunity to get through, but he's going to have to deal with Kabasi watching the angle, who picks up 1, eventually gets traded out, and the checkerboard kill feed means that Outbreak have a chance to regain in mid, but you have Nasty in a position to make life awkward here. And again, Outbreak, or zoned out, excuse me, are in no rush with the way that they are playing right now. They are just happily controlling mid, happily trading the lives and making sure that EMP is going nowhere. Nasty made life very difficult. Eventually the rotation back to deal with them, but still this mid-map control mostly going the way of zoned out.
Yeah, it definitely much is control that. They're 4 up as well, so they don't really need to do much. You're already 1 minute 35 remaining on time. It's going to be very difficult from Outbreak now to try and find 4 detonations from here on out. It is possible, just but how long beforehand if you're going to be shooting like you are if you're zoned out? 2 players on the Outbreak side yet to get into double figures as well, which makes things even more difficult around the map to try and gain control as they look to head towards outer roof here. That's a good few kills going their way, and they managed to get that EMP ran up, but there is going to be one more kill, and you're needing your teammate support, so you have to sit waiting patiently here for a full 10-20 seconds here potentially you're waited for, and wasting more and more time that you don't have if you're Outbreak.
Yeah, they have no time left to do this, really. Let's be honest, right? It is all but done. They are fighting
course
for
they
a
do.
few here, making life difficult. Listen, I get it. You're trying to sell entertainment to the viewers, but I'm a harsh realist here, Mark, and I'm telling you, it's all over. 40 seconds left to go. 4-0 down, Outbreak. You can prove me wrong if you want, or you can't, because in my opinion, physically impossible.
It's definitely very much impossible now. It is definitely sealed deal. Zoned Out Gaming in control of Overlay from a very strong first half. Didn't have to do anything apart from slay out in that second half, and now might we just put the sword to the stone here as they're looking to try and find 3 dead. Actually a team kill there, but a chance to get the EMP. No, shut down. He's going to get it. How's going to try and relay it still. He's going to get the opportunity, but he's shot down from Josh. 11 more seconds. Nonetheless, Zoned Out will take control of map number 3. Easy done, easy as you like. A 2-1 lead going in to a Colossus hard point. The respawns have looked great. This one even more superior due to the fact that they knew how to run that overload very convincingly in that first half and just pretty much made it life difficult.
Yeah, I mean, look, Zoned Out, absolutely phenomenal gameplay. Just showed that they are a level above the Outbreak side. I mean, when it comes to Overload, at least, you know, credit where credit is due. It's been a phenomenal series, but we've seen a stark contrast there in the difference between these two sides. And now going into a map number 4, as you said, they will be going in confident. KD superior all round. The map control perfection. Outbreak need to go back to the drawing board when it comes to, at very least, the Den Overload. But still, it has been an immaculate series to watch so far, and Zoned Out will be very happy with themselves that they were able to keep the clean sheet as well, making sure that they didn't even concede one as they now go into a map 4 with the most amount of confidence I think either of these sides will have had going into a map so far in this series. Will that confidence be the difference maker?
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. If you're zoned out, you'll be happy. I hear and there is a bit of evil laughing going on. We're going to send it to a short intermission. We have a little video for you guys to sit and watch, so enjoy. There we go. We are back. Yes, on you go, Zep. Take it control. Let's go.
Oh, I get it. Oh my god, guys! I've never introed a map before. I'm so nervous. I'm shy. But we're back. Map number 4. It's been a massive, terrific, wonderful series so far, and even better now that I get to intro it. P1. Neither of these teams have control so far until Outbreak decided to prove me wrong. Getting a little bit of time on that point. Zoned Out, trying to answer back.
Yeah, exactly. That zoned out here in the orange side. Outbreak in blue actually makes sense for a change this time round. And we're going to see Outbreak, though. They've got a good couple of kills here in that kill feed. They're going to get control P1 for the final scrap time. And we're going to see if they can take control of P2 as they're set up for that side. And they want to keep control of that for now because that is a good lead they're taking straight away off of P1.
Tell you what, yeah, Outbreak have a lot of control here, and they're already getting ready for that P3 flanker as Lando being pushed out wide. We'll see you at the next tell about 40 seconds, son, unless you change your course of direction, which he does, cutting in now to try and help with the brute force push through front. Gonna try and pick up one, successfully does, trying to help out with the second, eventually getting traded out. Outbreak holding on just about. It's getting a little bit tetchy here as the contest continuing to pull through, but Hale won. Outbreak doing a terrific job to begin with here. 30 seconds left to play for, and already 40 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, exactly what they needed to start off this hard point is they didn't start off strong last time around, and we mentioned it in that little break. They need to start off strong and build yourself into it and keep control. But that is going to be a break. 16 seconds remaining here, scrap time. It is going to be zoned out with control, but rotation fight that went on there. It's going to be Lando that wins it. They're going to get towards P3 first and zoned out. They're going to try and hold on to it, but how? Look at that. He absolutely guns them. There we go.
Yeah, and pushing on through towards that P3. How much can they make of it here? 47 to 25, continuing to rack up that time. The push around the back, though, which I don't know if they're fully expecting as of yet, could allow Zoned Out to get on board. But WASD switching side now. They are aware Good position to push through here. A couple of vital kills coming through. And Josh has been the hero for his side many a times before, trying to be so again here. But Groovy, you know, you talk about heroes going back to that search and destroy, picking up a couple there to keep this Outbreak side dominating with the lead here, as they're not only set up on P3, they're looking pretty strong for P4, unless Josh has anything to say about it.
Yeah, Josh is looking to get that back spawn. It's all about the fights on that rotation now. If he gives his ways positions a chance, it zoned out will not get control of P4 as it stands. It's going to be a fight. Player number 2. It's going to be Blur. He knows that they're there, and already that gunfight in the back worked out. But Blur backfires, unfortunately, and it's going to be Outbreak in control of P4 as well. A good stage from 3 to 4. But the way that it is still spawn worked out for zoned out still, even though they didn't have anybody back there. Strangely enough, they win that whole rotation.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit blessed there, but making the most of it, trying to guarantee these back spawns, making sure that they get, well, they kept it for a little while. It was a very nice 5 seconds that they indulged themselves in there before Outbreak get right back into control as zoned out. I mean, they look like a shadow of themselves compared to what we've seen in map 1, 2, and 3. I mean, God, it just shows how much, you know, map preference can play into it, as we're still in the very early days of the Black Ops 7 season, as this looks like a completely different side in comparison to Outbreak.
Yeah, it definitely does, and they're very much struggling to try and get in here. Zoned out managed to get a break, but as it stands, it seems to be them in control. But how almost brings the fray pace. He finds 2, but third one was just a bit step too far. Zoned out bringing themselves back in this, back to almost a 30-point difference now as we head back towards P1 and our second set of rotations begin. He's going to gain control. This was a very strong start from Outbreak on P1. Can they get control of it once again?
Yeah, and the checkerboard to kill feed back and forth once again. Groovy trying to pick up 1. Eventually gets taken out, though, by Josh. Josh and Groovy's been such an entertaining battle to watch throughout the course of this series. Zoned out have a lot of room to grow in this map. You know, you have 2 players down in the 7 and 8 kill spots, respectively. They have a lot of room to try and improve their game, and considering how close these scores are, if they do improve, I think we could see a zoned outside make a little bit of a comeback here as they get warmer and warmer in this map. But Outbreak firing on all cylinders here across the board, with Hale 17 and 9 with 45 seconds in Hill as well. That is just phenomenal. His kills are counting for so much each and every wave. Continuing to pop off here, dancing around the side, taking 1, taking 2. Blur making sure it isn't a 3, but Outbreak still with complete control of that P1 set up nicely for P2. Zoned out. They're going to need to find the answers to these P1 or P2s, because it doesn't matter how well they play the rest of the points at this stage. When we get back for that second set of rotations, those 2 points are potentially going to be their own doing.
Yeah, there you go. Wrap run from Nas. He does find 1 in the back. He's going to find a second. That's free dead in the feed, and that's a solid break there for zoned out as they get themselves in control of P2. They need this. They need as much time here as possible, which will bring it back to almost an even game here. But Outbreak won't give up that P2 time. They're going for that full wrapper on that B-bomb side. There's only 1 player that remains, though, and it's player number 5 of How. He needs to try and win this gunfight. He does do so. He takes out Nasty. Now he goes through the cut, looking for the player on the hard point. Finds that kill as well. So How is doing it all here so far to make that break in here. And now zoned out are spawning out further away. A wee bit of a split spawn coming in from them, but it's going to be Outbreak that's gaining control in this P2.
Zoned out are doing very well at breaking points from time to time, getting spawns, having a little bit of luck and making it work, but they just don't make it count for enough. They're not getting 30s and 40s off the hill times and off the positions they set themselves up in. At max, they're getting a good 20, which just isn't enough to pull themselves back into it. And Josh deciding to go for a little bit of a swim means that he's not going to be there to help his side to hold a defensive P3. They've lost it. Outbreak in control, Outbreak in the ascendancy, nearly 80 points in the difference, and zoned out haven't shown a way back into this one. And Groovy on a 5 spree as well. We're seeing an Outbreak side have finally found their form, their element, and have answered back so well after what was a disastrous map 3.
Yeah, 100%. They need a strong map, and they were showing exactly what they need to do here to get themselves back in this series and take this to the game 5. They will hopefully want to go on to win it as well. They had a very, very strong hard point the first time round. It eventually got back in their favor, but it took a while to get there, and they lose out by 1 point. This time, they're showing full dominance by having a 90-point, almost 100-point lead here. Well, it is over 100-point lead now as Outbreak now in control of this new spawn here as well. P4 for a second, but Nasty once again another 2-piece from him. He's on a 5 spree as well. He's keeping things heated up here. He's trying to get zoned out back in control of the point as long as possible. Look, player 6 and 7, they're just sitting around waiting about here, just trying to remain on the rest of the teammates because, you know, they've got the 100-point lead. They don't have to go in still. The wait, Groovy uses the Hellstorm as well, and there we go. 2 dead. Chance to now get that close spawn and get control. 35 seconds still remaining on P4.
And WSD picked up a huge kill around the back as well, guaranteeing those spawns and now keeping zoned out, completely pushed out. They are going to get past the 100-point mark, but surely not much more than that, as Outbreak looked like they have enough in the gas tank to take this all the way to a map 5. Hale picked up a 3 before getting dropped. Now 27 and 17. Take a bow, my son. This has been an incredible performance from yourself and the rest of your side as you look to take this series all the way. Rotating once again back to a P1 for the final time, surely, on this map. Over 100 points in the difference. Outbreak in the ascendancy.
Yep, the Outbreak are looking like they've got this well under lock and key. 100-point gap, the biggest we've seen, even on P1, it was the highest we've seen was 80, but not this far on to the stage. Not when you're into the first set of rotations with a lead at 217 versus 118. You've got a 100-point margin. You play for this, you win the gunfights around there. Groovy and Hap doing exactly what they need to do, but back and forward, can't rely on finding everybody because Lando and Nasty are still on this map. They're going to be able to get that break in. They're going to get control of P1 for a second, and 30 seconds still remain on that, so they can still pull it back a little bit. But Outbreak looking for that P2 control once again because it's been so strong for them throughout the 2 sets of rotations.
Yeah, I mean, if they lock that down, which they surely do, it is game, set, and match, only needing another, well, just over 20 points. Is Zoned Out going to try and get the remainder of the scrap time, and it has been a scrappy performance in them, to say the least, but not in the good way. Same way as, you know, Outbreak was very scrappy in map 1, and they were able to pull it to within 1 point, but this is going to be far more of a difference than 1 point this time around, as Outbreak looking like they're going to be able to get the job done here. But in saying that, Zoned Out have a clean break and a clean hold on this P2. If they get the clean 60, I mean, it would be crazy, but there is a way they could do it. We've seen the way they've played so far this series. They have the capability.
We also seen how map 1 went. It was pretty much a similar difference. So you got 60 points and all of a sudden you bring it back. You've got 30 more seconds. You can take it to almost 200 points. And you'd be within 27. Lando, though! My God. You can call him the world champion. He's not, but he's not the F1 star, but he's looking like he is showing his #1 so far on the map. That is just phenomenal shooting from Lando to find that 3-piece, but they're keeping that control. They're keeping the hard point under lock and key for the remainder of the scrap time, and now heading towards P3. Outbreak have that control, and look how much map coverage they have as well. This could be very difficult for Zoned Out to make their break in.
This map coverage is immaculate. Outbreak set up so well on the points when they have the opportunity to, but Lando now with the streak, the last lifeline for Zoned Out. Can he make it count? He can make it count on his own teammate, which is just not what you need at this moment. 15 points left to go for Outbreak, doing enough to get over the line here. It seems that Zoned Out have one last chance to break.
One last final opportunity is going to be in. They're going to get there. Groovy's just going to wait inside. Well, this is shut down all of a sudden. Zoned Out are in control. They've got 9 seconds needed for Outbreak. They can still do it on the final last-ditch effort for the push, but that's 3 dead in the feed, and Outbreak are struggling to get in control of it, and that is working out here for Zoned Out. They get past that 200-point mark. 50 points the difference to get this win for them. And look, heading towards P4. It is going to be Zoned Out getting there first, and there's still going to be time for Outbreak to win this right here, right now, and they're going to do so. Outbreak take it. Zoned Out went for the rotation early and couldn't stay alive on the point for that final remaining seconds. Unfortunately, means that Outbreak, like they said, you only need a few bits of seconds to get that win, and they go on and do so. 250 to, what was that, 214, I think it was in the end. Oh no, maybe I missed that out.
I mean, it's close enough, I would say. It's
Close
something
enough.
around that line, but I mean,
Top of my brain.
Getting over
206.
206, right? But I mean, getting 206 from Zoned Out's perspective, when it looked all but done when they were down on 99, to be able to pull out over 100 more seconds on that one, I mean, that was really, really good in the end up from Zoned Out, and proving that they're a side that is not to be messed with, and not a side that are now on the back foot going into a map 5. Because again, look, it was gotten over the line, right? Outbreak were able to do enough, but you analyze the back half of that hard point. Zoned Out are going into map 5 on the overall, I think, the stronger team if you're to analyze it on a minute by minute basis of the last 5 minutes. So Outbreak, they gotta keep it locked. They still have a really difficult map ahead of them here. They've done a lot of hard fighting to get into this position, especially coming off the back of a map 3, which was, I mean, what would you say about that map 3? I mean, providing a service, you would argue, Zoned Out, because I mean, there are people that will pay good money to get that dominated in other fields. But look, going into a map 5 where the cards reset, it's all down to a search and destroy. Still could be anyone's series.
Yeah, the search and destroy was pretty close as well for a bit. It felt like it was going to be around 11, and then eventually Outbreak took control of it and took a 2-round lead and wins it 6. Yeah, well, they won it by 3 rounds. Obviously, there were 2 rounds in the head and the map point opportunity. So yeah, a very close one. But we're going back to the same map. We're going back to Colossus here for the search and destroy. And yeah, like you said, momentum in the ending half of that map there was definitely shifting towards Zoned Out. But is that maybe because like I said that they had to start off strong, right? Outbreak started strong. They kept their foot on that gas, and at one point, I think they realized we've got quite a big gap here. We don't have to fight for every single early push. We can go for the ending zone and cut it out. But we're straight into the search and destroy. They want to get this over and done with here. Who is going to go to take this? It is round 5 here in our winners lower semi-final, looking for their opportunity to take it to that next stage. Who's going to do it? Outbreak or Zoned Out Gaming? We're about to find out here on Colossus.
I'm really excited to see this because I've rarely seen a search and destroy played in this map as well, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Zoned Out drop the first one. Hale managing to pick up one, trying to pick up the second here with a well-timed grenade, not hitting anyone. Outbreak so far in a good position here on this defense to hold on. Zoned Out running out of options. They don't really have control of this A point.
Not at all. This is the thing. I feel like defensively on this map, it is pretty straightforward. You can hang around mid for most part, and you still get good sight of A and B if you're in that sort of blue freight side of things. And defensively, yeah, I feel like you just keep throwing shoulders, you give away position, and then all of a sudden you rotate to where you need to go, given the information that you had. But Josh finds WSD trying to bring it back, but you're down to 3 versus 1. It's all down to Josh here, and he can't do the job. Outbreak take round number 1.
Yeah, terrific from Outbreak. Again, they got that first blood, and then from there just played it patient and were able to trade out the lives. As we see Groovy up here getting that last kill up against Josh, and Groovy, as we talked about, has sort of been a battle we've been seeing throughout the course of this series. Both players who I'd argue have been real difference makers throughout different points in this series. Which one of them is going to be able to drag their side through the mud here on this map 5? What has to be said is Groovy had a phenomenal search and destroy performance the last time out. So if he can replicate that, Outbreak are in good stead to sneak this series.
Yeah, definitely. But you're going to watch this mid once again. This defensive hold you're seeing Zoned Out setup. Always not A, 2B side of things. But you know what? You've managed to get information. There's always send one person first off to that A bomb site. It seems to be the case in the last few Colossus maps that I have watched on Search and Destroy. As they go that way, they have a check to see if there's anything there. And if you don't see anybody, you're heading towards B, strangely enough, for that wraparound. But Blur picks off Hell, and all of a sudden he's like, right, back off, B is covered. We're down a number. We have to think about what we do here on this attacking side, because I feel like attack is the hardest option here on this map in Colossus.
They almost had a bit of a chance to go for the plant there, but again, I don't know if they took a little bit too long or they were worried about the position of Lando, but they now have pushed him off, and it does look like that Outbreak are happy to go for this plant, or nearly you would think they're actually not happy to go for the plant. They want to bait Zoned Out in, but it's not quite happening for them. 4 versus 3 now, 28 seconds left to go. They're going to need to plant eventually, because Zoned Out, they are baiting their lives here. They're doing a good job of staying alive, and Outbreak are going to be the ones that have to get aggressive, which they're seemingly doing so now, and they just get decimated as Zoned Out regain a round.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I'm expecting it to go, slowly but surely. You find the first blood on that defense, you have yourself the advantage. Now it makes it very difficult for any attacking side kind of to get any bomb down, because A and B are so easily watched from mid-map on that defensive. And unfortunately, it was a very difficult task, because you lead up there to A quickly, you push one person up, but the person that's carrying a bomb's always sat back a little bit further. So by the time he's there and he's got a wee bit of information, the defense are already set up, it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. And now one apiece, both of these sides have proven that they can do the damage on the defense. Will one of these teams be able to break through on offense? It's Zoned Out's turn to try and do so once again as they now target a B. But again, relying on the picks, which I think they're a really good team at being able to do this, but Outbreak have gotten much better playing their lives, and it's none other than Groovy who's picked up that first blood. And now we once again in the ascendancy on the defense side of things. Outbreak running out of, or Zoned Out, excuse me, running out of options here on the offense, but picking up one. This is their chance, but Groovy, once again, I mean, he is just everywhere for this Outbreak side.
Yeah, S&D God so far for the side, definitely finding the picks where needed. He's now found 2 in this round. Josh will try to get tags on towards Capacity. Groovy still throwing shoulders behind the crate, but not going to take a life from it. It's going to be just how it's down so far for Outbreak. You've got a 3 versus 2. Make that a 3 versus 1 as Groovy once again finds 3. He's going to try and find a 4 of his Blur, finding Kabasi. But you've got a 2 versus 1. You've got 24 seconds. The bomb is down towards B as well. And guess what? WSD is going to watch you coming through. And that is going to be the round. Outbreak on defense once again coming out strong.
These offenses are both really struggling so far in these maps and in this map. I mean, both sides playing incredibly well at the defense when it comes to the discipline, getting the picks, getting out and playing it patient, not getting overzealous, not getting cocky and confident, and picking up angles that aren't going to be covered by your teammates. They're making sure that once they get that advantage, they just run the clock down and force the offense to come to them. And again, plenty of time to find an answer, but we're seeing such a tit-for-tat affair with no signs of either side being able to break through, being able to crack the code. Which one of these sides will be able to change that up, or are we going to see defense for defense trade right up until round 11?
I feel like that's going to be the case, to be honest. It just seems like defense is very, very strong on this map. Just because of where the positions of the bomb sites are very much close on that defensive side. A lot closer than we normally. It's not like a mid-map push, but Kabasi open up that first blood on the attacking side. That gives them a different advantage, but as WSD gets shut down by Nasty, who mid-map control. But you're going to get a chance to get the bomb down, though, if you're Outbreak for the first time in this 3 rounds that we've had so far.
Yep, bomb down. This is the best chance you've had. Can you make the most of it? But getting taken out left, right, and center. Groovy now the last alive. Going to be able to pick up 1, but going to get traded out. Zoned Out. Going to be in with that defuse. And they're going to be answering back with a round of their own. The bomb going down without any real control just leaves you there for the picking as Outbreak find out the hard way. 2 apiece now going into round 5.
Yep, defensive still coming out strong, even with the bomb down. Just shows you how strong this defensive side is on a map of Colossus. Unfortunately, when you do that, you get the first blood. If you're Outbreak, you get the bomb down. You're thinking, right, maybe you have a chance here to at least kind of break serve, so to speak, and search and destroy, which could be crucial on a map like Colossus. As soon as you break that serve, you feel like this chance is yours. You only have to worry about your defense coming out strong. So if you win an attack, be thankful, because that is going to be the one chance to give you the chance and the advantage in the lead of this map. Now, Zoned Out with the chance for their attack. WSD pulls out the sniper as well, so let's see if they can find an early pick to give themselves a chance here. Groovy falls, Blur. I don't know if that was a nade or a little explosion from a canister. There we go, a canister explosion. Should be shooting him out straight away, and they're not doing it. Some people have been doing it early on in rounds just to avoid being tagged up by it in the end, but it's unfortunate. Groovy falls to it.
Yeah, a bit of trouble now. Zoned Out get this bomb down. An Outbreak fighting from a losing battle side, but a snipe coming through, getting at least 1 gives the side an opportunity. But I mean, a sniper in hand can leave you as the real, like the handicapped position, you would argue, if you just can't pull out in those gunfights in the same way as your teammates. But 2 versus 3 now, the clock running down. Is the defuse going to come through?
Josh!
2 versus 1. Josh going huge, all up to capacity. 18 seconds left, and now they're just trying to play the time. Josh being the hero for his side.
Yeah, Josh doing a fantastic job there to find the 2. He's going for the sneaky ninja, but he knows fine well he's not going to get it. It's the only thing he could have done, really, in a 1v2 scenario. You're going to see Zoned Out take control of the lead here. And you know what? Winning an attack. This is the break of serve that we need.
Yeah, this could be it. If we see them now pull through in this defense, you're going 4-2 up, and you're an Outbreak side that's looking like you may have run out of answers here in map 5. Again, they've done so well to take it this far, but I mean, that is just that we did say it going in. It's going to be who takes that offense, and Zoned Out managing to do so. I mean, Josh 8-2, by the way. We were singing the praises of Groovy in this Groovy versus Josh battle, but on the 5 spree, now on 8 kills. I mean, this is just a phenomenal performance, making sure the canister is gone this time around, not wanting to repeat the same mistakes.
Yep, definitely not. WSD tried to get the snipe there as he sees a pixel on his screen. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the early pick. Josh still trying to take out the trophy system. That's going to give away his position as well, though. Blur will pick up that first blood on towards the attacking side. So defense for Zoned Out could start off pretty strong, but it is WSD. Does pull out a sniper, finds out that Blur with that scope, and now makes it a 3 versus 3. Still a chance here for the Outbreak attack. They need to kind of get this attack now that Zoned Out have already won 1.
Very interesting pulling the sniper out on offense here. Needing to try and get that pick. Josh just trying to stay alive here. He needs to make sure he doesn't get dropped. But the lane now being covered now that the bomb is down, meaning as long as he doesn't get flanked, he's in a great position. But the smoke down here means it's going to be all over the place.
WSD gets him as well.
2. All up to Nasty to try and get this one back. Outbreak and potentially answer back with an offense of their own.
Yeah, exactly. WSD does get Josh eventually with that scope there, as we did see the fight inside P1 going very interesting through the smoke. And now, yeah, if you're Zoned Out, you're Nasty. You need to find a pick here. You need to find both of them very quickly. Groovy is there. There's one Nasty. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Nasty. It's WSD. He's not going to win the fight. Is that a no scope with the sniper, or did he pick up an M15? I don't know. We'll find out here in just a second. But it is going to be tied up an attacking round for Outbreak. And it is an M15 he does pick up. So I thought he just no scoped him as soon as he slid in there. I was about to say that's phenomenal. But here we go. Outbreak ties it up and wins their own attacking round as well. Just after me saying Break a serve might change things, and all of a sudden they both find an attack to win. It is strange to see.
Well, the sniper ended up being crucial, really, because it just allows you to lock down that lane so much better if you get that bomb down and get the control. It means you don't instantly need to be pushed up and having so much site control to be able to keep the site covered, right? You can play patient, you can wait for the angle to be peaked, and then just get the pick and continue to try and make that sniper work here, rocking it once again on the defense.
Yeah. He's feeling really archy with it for sure. It's the word that my wife would always use when somebody's a little bit confident, maybe overconfident, but he's taking it out regardless in a free streak so far as well. He knows he has an opportunity to pick up a weapon when need be, but he knows somebody's going to pop up here. He's just spotted Lando go down with that bomb. Keep an eye on it now as the pop cup comes up from Lando at some point eventually. First blood though does go the way of How as he finds one, but Groovy finds another. Nasty finds Groovy, and all of a sudden Josh now once again has to find one. Now has to find another 2 in the round to try and win this one. Even with a bomb down, a chance. He finds Kabasi. It's a chance. 1v1 versus WSD. And has he picked up a weapon? Has he got the sniper out still? I'm sure he's picked up the M15 and he's got the wrap around. He slides in and he doesn't win it. Josh comes out on top. Wow. How has he won that gunfight there? Snap.
You know how he won it? He's won it not through sheer luck, sheer goddamn ability. This guy, big game player. Map number 5, kill number 11, coming through to clutch a 1 versus 3, I believe it was, for his side to keep Zoned Out in the lead. Talk about a big game player. Doesn't really get any bigger than this when it comes to the last minute clutches for your side. Again, the battle of Josh versus Groovy. Josh proving that he's the big game player right now.
Yeah, so another attacking round win as well. You go back into the defense, the chance to take it to map point if you win this one. Josh, make sure the barrel's gone behind him. Groovy though, first blood going their way once again on the attacking side. Are we going to see 2 attacks wins in a row just after seeing 2 defensive wins in a row when we felt like it was never going to happen for sure? But it seems to be the case as we've got the first blood already. Zoned Out. Disadvantage. Bomb potentially going down towards A because nobody's going to be able to get coverage. You're going to see Josh back down a little bit.
Yeah, Outbreak have a great chance here to take an offense once again. They're very well set up to do so. Can Zoned Out get a pick, or are they going to drop one more time? Nasty's trying to get pushed up with a little bit aggressive here now, it seems. Trying to take out Groovy. Can he do so?
Oh, Josh is doing it again.
Josh, man. Josh, would you just start? There's plenty of kills to go around as he sits on 13. Now all up to Nasty, though.
Yeah, 1v2, bomb down, 20 seconds. You just run away for your Outbreak and then come peak this time. And if he doesn't have to, he challenges it through mid and Outbreak will win an attacking round once again. So they've both won 2 defenses, 2 attacks. We're at 4-4. This is a round 11. definitely on the cash, surely at this point in time. The way that things are going, it's back and forward. And if one person takes the lead, the other person ties it back up. So it is not getting anybody taking a massive gap. I feel like this is down to the wire till the end to see who stays in this Inferno major here in Vegas, presented by Shinto. This could be the most deadliest of rounds here for the teams. They need to be focused. Try and win 2 in a row, and that's you. That's all you need now.
I mean, Josh is just on his way to get more kills than I can manage in a game. A hard point here, an immaculate carry. Although the rest of us are playing relatively well as well, except Lando. But look, he's getting the plants down, doing a hard job as well. Round number 9. Who's going to be able to get towards the series point? It's zoned out on offense. They'd really love to get another offensive win right here.
Oh, 100%. Give yourself that defense for the win potential. That is exactly what they'll be looking to try and set up here. 3 players managed to get through towards A, but the bomb carrier is going to be caught out here as How will find him through mid. They know the bomb's down, and all of a sudden, zoned out have ramped all the way around into the defense's side of things, but they found 2 kills as well. And once again, it's Josh finding one. Nasty finds the other. Of course they do. It is only the 2 players you see on that kill feed for the majority of the time in this map. 14 and 4 goes Josh so far, and you've given themselves the advantage still with 3 versus 2.
Well, I gotta say though, Outbreak are in kind of a good position to run the clock down here. They're still able to defend A just from, you know, arguably around the other side. It's a good position to be in. Only 18 seconds left to go now. Zoned out have to move together to at the very least play the trades. But Blur picking up 1, it surely means they have the round. Groovy taking out Josh. The trades ultimately there. And Outbreak winning the defensive round, now just 1 round away from taking this series. I mean, listen, what has been a great series that could go either way. If you're Josh and that zoned outside, you would be distraught if you weren't able to take the win with the amount of kills that he's getting in this S&D.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's nothing worse than being this positive and looking on that L side of things. That's not the case so far though. Zoned out now have the defense for the win of the map, for the win of the series. Can they defend this time round? Attacking's coming out very strong in the last few rounds here in this search and destroy. But now you need to just win the defense, which you did so well at the very start with trophy systems obviously not being a thing early on. Might have been the difference maker, but I don't think it really was, because we're not seeing very many nade kills early on. Most of it is all gunplay for the most part. So far, it's a lot slower around here. Outbreak and the attack slowly trying to eke their way forward.
It is very strange that this bomb is being angled towards B, but I think he's going to play the cut to try and get compact with his team. Seems to be the case now, as again zoned out. They're very good at playing their lives here, and they're going to make sure to be super careful on these peaks. Josh getting tagged a couple of times, making sure to stay up. Outbreak are quite advanced. They're kind of getting ready to go for a bit of a hit and run here. The plant is coming through. Groovy's on the crawl. Going to try and catch Lando off guard here. Will Josh pick up the angle? Bombs down. The ball's in zoned out's court. It's back and forth.
Back and forward, but in favor of zoned out here in this defense. A 3 versus 2 as it stands. Bomb is down though, so that is the one thing you got to think about. They've got the kill as well, and all of a sudden it's down to How can he clutch up. The player is going to try and get that defuse. He has to stop him on that time. Josh does it, but the defuse is still going in. He has to challenge it. He has to get the shots off, but the defuse will go out. Zoned out will win the round at 6-4, and zoned out will progress into that losers final. Unfortunately for Outbreak, it was just a little too late in the end to eventually bring themselves back in that round there. They were 2 players down. Out. He was getting tags, but he wasn't getting the kill with the player on that bomb defusal.
Immaculate performance from zoned out. Congratulations to them. Zoned out, nerves of steel on that defuse as well from Josh, making sure to get that one over the line despite having his pretty little toe getting shot to pieces there at the end up, still managing to come through with it, and just, you know, huge GGs, massive congratulations. Thank you very much to these sides for what was such an entertaining series to watch from start to finish. Again, congratulations, zoned out, commiserations, Outbreak. I mean, at moments, genuinely couldn't have been any closer.
No, definitely couldn't have been any closer at times, definitely. The only thing that was really a big sweep difference was that overload being very well in control of zoned out. But you know what? The way that this major has progressed, the seeds have finished so far in their position. So Outbreak Gamer was seeded 4th. They finished in 4th spot. Now we're going to see Seed 2 versus Seed 3 going in to that losers final. Carolina Reapers X Victix versus Zoned Out Gaming for our losers final to see who will go and face our number 1 seed and normally gaming in that ground. We will be back very shortly for your matchup. There will be a little intermission, but we will be getting an interview here. Tantrums will be getting an interview, I'm sure, with their MVP of Zoned Out.